Hi everyone, it's Monica and I'm back with another video for you guys. And in today's video, I just want to share with you guys our experience as a family since we started doing Kumon Workbooks with our toddler, who is now 3.5 years old. A little more than that. She'll be 4 in like 3 months. It's crazy. So just a little background if you guys don't know what Kumon is, or you've heard about it but not entirely sure whether you should go for it or not. So basically Kumon, it goes way back in like 1950s, in this high school teacher, he was a math teacher named Toru Kumon, and he started this actually as a way of guiding his son in preparation for college, who at the time was only in his, I think, second grade, and he wrote like numerous like calculations and all that, like just on a piece of paper, and gave it to his son and started working from there. And from there it became a business, and now they are worldwide. And Kumon is not only for like math, they also have in this case I picked up I got them from Amazon. I got the uppercase letters and numbers. These are the first two that we are starting her with. I plan on getting more workbooks. I just wanted to get two just to like see how it goes. And then what was I gonna say? So during the summertime, so it's now winter time here, last summer Terry and I really wanted to register our daughter Maya for Kumon classes, but it just didn't work out because we had vacations. We had a couple of vacations planned, and the instructor was like, I don't think that's a good idea, because if you're gonna pull her away from class and then she's gonna come back and then it's like something new again for her, so she's just going to start where she was at, or where she started. So we were like, okay, well, we'll do it after our vacation. And then after our vacation, like in the summertime I got pregnant, and then after our vacation I was still feeling pretty sick during my first trimester. So I was like, okay, I'll wait it out. Once the sickness is over, then I'll register her, because then for sure like I wouldn't have any problem taking her to Kumon class. So like I said, they're all over the world, and in like where we live in Ottawa, there's one like a 10-minute drive away from us. And so when my sickness, my first trimester nasty symptoms went away, I was like, okay, I'm ready. And that was like, I think, closer to December. And so I told the instructor, yes, like we're ready to do this, and then she was like, you know what, I don't really recommend it, because we're going away for 2 weeks, like just for the holidays. And I was like, yes, of course, that makes total sense. So she was like, I suggest you call us back in January. And I did, and then I told her that I really want to register her this time around, but just so you know, I need to pull her out of the program come March, because I will be giving birth then. And she was like, well, I don't really think that's a good idea either, because it's just gonna, like you're gonna start her, and then once you're ready to come back, it's not like she's going to start where she left off. It's like she's just going to be starting right at the beginning. So I said, you know what, okay, that's it. But I didn't want to give up, so I did my own research, and I found this Kumon Workbooks online. And I said, like, let's just try this at home. At first I was hesitant, because I was thinking like, what are the chances that my daughter is actually going to listen to me and wanting to learn these things? Because with mamas, like our kids are so like they feel like they can get away with things easily, especially with moms. That's just how I felt. But I was like, you know what, let's just try it. So I thought I'll make this video for you guys who are looking into it, whether a class or workbooks. Now, I just want to tell you guys that I can't really talk about what do you call this, about you know, like what it's like being in a class, because like I said, I have never actually registered Maya, so we just started doing this workbook. So this video is more like for the Kumon workbooks. So just to give you a rough idea, so we live in Canada, and classes, Kumon classes is about $130 per month, and that is one class. So if you wanted your child to do just reading, then that's $130 a month. And then math, that's $130 a month. And this is, I don't know if it's the same for like every branch, but what we were told is it would have been, for Maya's age, 3.5, would have been 20 minutes 2 times a week, and that's $130 a month. So I don't know if in the future we will register her for Kumon classes, like be in actual class. Maybe we'll try that route. But right now we are really happy with what you know, like what we're doing with the workbooks with her. And honestly, it just makes me feel good as a parent that, you know, not only that we get to play, like I think it's very important for her to, you know, for us parents to prepare her for school. I know some parents are, you know, have the opposite opinion that, okay, like, why are you doing this to your kid? Like, you know, it's so brutal because they're gonna get to school anyway, so might as well just enjoy, like, you know, playing and all that. But like, I honestly, like, I know to each their own, but I honestly don't agree with that. I feel like it's never ever too early to give your kids a head start learning, and just be prepared for when they go to school, because, you know, like as parents, we want to teach our kids to be self-reliant, and we want them to be confident in school. And not only that, when, you know, like I'm hoping that when Maya goes to school, like she either already knows these things, you know, what the teacher is about to teach her, like whether it's math or letters and all that, or at least she already has like this some sort of understanding, and she's not overwhelmed, like, what is this, like this is all new. So I've written down some notes for this video, because I was thinking, okay, like I want to share this with other parents who are interested in you know, teaching their kids at home, like give them a head start before school. And not only that, you can also like do Kumon, because they have for like different ages. Even when your kid is already in school, they have like every like different levels, I believe, up to like high school. So that is a good thing. So even if, say, your child is, say they finish this workbooks, and you're confident and your child is confident that they already know what's in this workbooks, then go ahead and jump into the next level, even though they're not necessarily that age. And what else was I gonna say? So I've written down some tips, because I was thinking, okay, I really like this Kumon, so what are the tips that I could give my you know, like viewers, or you know, someone who's interested in Kumon, why it's working for us, and just tips how you can make it work at home. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. So first off, I got these off Amazon. I'm pretty sure you can get them in other places too, but Amazon just seems like the place to go for everything almost. So Terry and I really wanted to start her with math, so I picked that up, and then I said, hey, might as well learn letters, right? Why not? And so what I really like about these Kumon workbooks is they make it so colorful. So you know how like kids are so drawn to like colorful things, so they make it colorful. It's not just like a black and white like workbook that, you know, like kids are gonna look at and like, oh my god, like what is this? You know, they make it fun in that way. And also what I really like about this is, as a parent, unless you're like very creative and or you're like a teacher, I love how, you know, it's a workbook. It's already set for parents what you're going to be going through with your, or you know, what you're going to teach your child. Like, okay, like today this is what we're working on. You know what I mean? Because like as much as you want to teach your child stuff like this, like sometimes you just don't have the creativity of like, you know, you're not gonna, you know, I know that I'm not gonna be able to like do all this like workbook like and think of it like write it in a paper and like, here you go, this is what you do, right? There's just so much work that goes into that. So I like that this workbook, I mean, you know, it's already done for you, but you just have to apply it. You just have to go through it with your kid and make it fun for them. Okay, so let's get to the tips. So number one tip that I have is try to make it fun. So in our case, in our house, what we do is basically we go in a pretend mode. So before the class starts, like I would tell my daughter like, okay Maya, it's Kumon class time, get your backpack ready, get your pen case ready, like make it fun, like make them, you know, get them like some colorful pens or like a pen case that, you know, would make your child feel like, oh my goodness, like you know, I have all this, like, you know, for Kumon, I'm excited. And not only that, I think it's good because you're also preparing them for when they go to school. My toddler is not in school yet, but she will be in September. So yeah, I think she's really having fun. She really likes it when, you know, when I start saying like, okay, it's class time, get your backpack, and then she'll like put her pen case, and sometimes she'd bring one toy, and then she would pretend I'm the teacher, like, oh teacher, like, do you like this? Like I brought a toy, blah blah. So you know, I would entertain it like, oh yeah, I really like that. But also, you know, once she's shown me like a thing or two, I'd be like, okay, now it's class time, now let's get to it. But without really appearing like, okay, this is serious stuff, okay, so you better listen. It's not like that. So we go in that pretend mode. I think yeah, she really likes that, and hopefully if you try that too, hopefully that works as well. So my number 2 tip is to not overdo it. If you overdo it, obviously like your kid is, you know, your kid is going to be like, oh my god, like, you know, like kids love to play, obviously, right? Unless your kid is the type to like just love doing math, doing reading, then that's great. But with my daughter, I find that 30 minutes a day, 30 to 40 minutes a day is pretty good for us. So what we do is we split it in half. So during the day I do about 15 to 20 minutes with her, and then in the evening when Terry comes home, then he will do another 15 to 20 minutes with her, and we would alternate from this to, like, say day 1, this is what we are going to work on, day 2, this is what we are going to work on. And I find that's really effective rather than going like the whole half an hour, because you know, as a child, it's very, even though they can be focused at the same time, it's very natural for them to be like, oh, I want to snack, oh, like I want to color, oh, I want to do this. So we have to be, as parents, we have to be considerate about that and not just be like, okay, like we have to do this for like the whole half an hour, which I'm really happy, because when we inquired, you know, for Kumon classes, like they said, for a 3-year-old, they would do 20 minutes a day, twice a week. So that would have only been like 40 minutes and just twice a week. And we do it every day since we got this. We got this, I think, almost 3 weeks now. And by the way, I forgot to mention, these are, I live in Canada. This is about like 8 between $8 to $9 per workbook. So not bad versus going to class. But you know, again, not bashing like the class site, because who knows, like that might be better too. That might even work better for you. And another tip that I have, my number 3 tip, is don't get frustrated when your child doesn't get it right the first time. I know as adults, or as parents and as adults, things that we know right off the bat, like easy multiplication, easy addition, easy subtraction, and you know, we teach our kids something even when it's not about numbers or reading and all that. Sometimes very common sense stuff, you know, we there's a tendency of us getting frustrated that you know, if your child does something and we think it's common sense, we got to realize that these are just like little kids, like their brain is still in the developing mode. So I try to remind myself that even though it may be common sense to me, I mean, you know, I'm in my mid-30s, like always be considerate that your child is only little, you know, they make mistakes just like we do, like we're adults and we still make mistakes. So don't get frustrated, don't, you know, try not to raise your voice or anything like that. I know we as parents, all we want is the best for our child, and then we just get so excited when they get it right, and when they don't, it's kind of like a downer. But you know, don't get too frustrated about that, because if you get frustrated, your child will get frustrated, and you know, once that shows, he or she will definitely feel that impact that's coming from you as a parent. You know, like your child may feel like, oh, like maybe I don't like Kumon classes after all, because this is the time when mom or dad gets pretty strict about things, and we don't want that. You know, I feel like there is a fine line between, you know, teaching your child something that, you know, like you want them to, just to kind of help them be prepared for school, but at the same time, remembering that they're still kids, they're still learning, they're still developing. So yeah, don't get frustrated when they don't get the answer right the first time. In short, be patient. Another tip that I have is don't do it when your toddler is tired or sleepy, because obviously it's not the best time for them to, it's not the most effective time for them to learn or think and just do stuff that's like, you know, like something like math or reading or learning letters in this case. Just like us as adults, when we are tired, we lack sleep and all that, like we feel like we're not really our 100%. So if you have some down days, like with your child, that's like he or she's not feeling well, like maybe it's better to just skip Kumon that day. But otherwise, if it's just a regular day, like I suggest that you do it pretty much, if you could do it like a routine in terms of doing it at the same time, same time every day. So for example, you know, if we would do it at 2 o'clock, 2 to 2:20 every day, and then Terry will go through it with her around 6 to 6:20, or sometimes 7:20, but try to make it a routine, kind of like, and just this, you know, like have a time frame when you would do it every day, and try, if you could, not to skip a day unless they're not feeling well, just because it's very important for them to get in that routine. And not only that, when they get into that routine, they, you know, like the stuff that you went through with them, like it's still fresh in their minds, rather than if you just do it once a week, then that's kind of like, you know, it's like, oh, I already forgot that, so it's like you're back to square one. And another tip that I have is make it fun. Like, I know I did say this earlier, make it fun in terms of like you know, putting stars. Like when Maya gets like 100%, I would put like, okay, stars, like just on the bottom. And another one that actually I want to start doing is to buy a few stamps. I don't want to tell her, I just want to surprise her. So when she gets, you know, like 100% or even like 90-95%, then I will give her stamps. Kids just love stamps. I know with my child, she does. Like when we registered her before with gymnastics, she really liked when they got like stamps after the class. And my last one is what did I write down here? Okay, last one. This is very important. Mark or grade the material, correct it, and let your child knows where you know, where they made a mistake. I think it's so important, you guys. Like, it's so important to give your child a compliment when they did something great, and it's also important to let them know when they made a mistake without being harsh about it. Like, don't be like, well, you got this wrong, so yeah, I guess, yeah, I guess they'll do. Or just like, you know, just show them that you're still enthusiastic about, like, you know, like, hey, like, you know, like you made a mistake here because, and it's very important to tell them why and the reason they made a mistake. Don't just like mark it and then, you know, your kid sees that it's not 100% and that's it. Like, it's good for them to know their mistakes, and I think, you know, kids will understand that. And you know, it's also good because you're preparing them for the real world. Like, the real world, it's not going to be always 100%. There's going to be mistakes, and what's more important is knowing that mistake happened and how to make it better the next time, how to do it better, how to make it right the next time. So for me, it's important to be correcting the mistakes. Okay, so those are my tips. And then now I just want to show you guys you know, examples of these workbooks. So this is like the letter. Okay, so as you can see here, the first page is basically they want them to draw a straight line. So there's an object here, there's an animal here, and then the same animal here, and all they're doing is writing a straight line or tracing it. Like, there's, you know, it's traceable. And I know it looks so simple, right? But honestly, like, the purpose of this is for them to start kind of like getting used to drawing a straight line. So here again, you find that some of them could be repetitive, but I honestly think it's a good thing, because at the beginning, when your child is learning something new, the more your child does something over and over, the more they will remember. Ever since we started doing this Kumon workbooks, my child's math learning skills have definitely improved. And I'll show you an example over here. So see how like colorful they are? So for example, here they're learning about how to write number 7 and just the number 7 you know, number. So here there's 7 cupcakes, 7 dots, so I let her count that. And then once she starts tracing them, she has to say them out loud. And I think that's so effective, because not only she's learning how to write number 7, but she's also remembering what it's called or what it is. It's number 7. And then here it says, okay, like I would ask her, do you recognize which is number 7 here? I mean, they highlight it, which is pretty good. And I like how they do it, because even though you see number 7 here, and then you'll see it again over here. It's almost like a refresher. I can't find it now, but okay, like here, see? Like now they're doing 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9. And I think it's good, although they already had the 6 and 7 and 8 in the previous page. And then on like a few pages later, you'll see the same thing again, just a different activity or a different thing that they have to do for this page. And I think that's so good because, you know, it kind of reminds them that, hey, remember me? I'm number 7. So, you know, so I think it's really effective. And I highly, highly recommend this. I'm pretty sure there's other workbooks out there that can help your child learn math, reading, or whatever it is that you want to give your child a head start before they go to school, or even when they're already in school. But in my case, I just, you know, Kumon is a bit popular, so I went with that. Oh, so here you go. So they have, for Kumon, they have simple addition, simple subtraction, dollars and cents. That's pretty good too. And then there is weight, volume, number games, easy telling time, mazes, animals, crafts, around the world, easy mazes, cutting, coloring, drawing. Like they have a bunch of things. So yeah, so that is it for this video. Hopefully it's not too long, but most importantly, hopefully you got something out of this video. Hopefully I've kind of, you know, was able to give you an insight what Kumon workbooks are like, and also with the tips that I've mentioned. Hopefully you get to apply it, you know, at your own home. And yeah, that is about it, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't done so, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel. I make mommy and lifestyle videos, and hit that bell button so you get a notification each time I post a new video up. And that is it for this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.